Timo to have played several times against his Bogut when he was in the West Conference, and do his stats against Golden State with a different team mean anything?
I didn't hear the second question, Chris.
Do his stats with a different team, with Denver, with a different offense, mean anything? Because he's had some success against Golden State in the past.
Well, sure. The fact that he's played in the Western Conference and he has familiarity with Golden State, it's a good thing. Does it give a particular advantage or not? I don't know. And Timo's on a different team and a different role with us than he was with his last team. So I don't put too much stock statistically in what may or may not have happened in the games between them.
Impression of the Warriors?
Well, I think that their season and their record speaks for itself. They're Western Conference champions, and they're an outstanding team. Extremely well coached, with a great group of players, and more than worthy foe.
David, you're probably not going to give away any specifics, but can I ask you about guarding or defending Steph Curry? I mean, are you confident Kyrie can do that right now?
Is that the answer to the question while you ask it, or I don't know?
I mean, are you going to put different guys? I mean, what's your approach for him?
Well, Steph's a tremendous offensive player, and he's going to be tough for anyone to guard. And scorers and creators like Steph are the kind of guys that require a total team effort and a high level of awareness and alertness, and a stay with it kind of attitude, because obviously he has such a potent arsenal in terms of scoring the basketball, and his role is such that he's going to get the opportunities to score the ball. So, he's going to be a tough guy to guard regardless.
David, this kind of got lost in the shuffle the other night. Kyrie playing in Game 4. How did he come through it? How did he look on film, and how healthy is he?
Well, first of all, it was great to see him back out there, and I thought he played extremely well, and I thought physically he looked better than he's looked in the last month and few days since the original problem started. He felt very well after the game, and in the last couple of days also has continued to work and to progress and to feel a little bit stronger and better each and every day, and those are all good signs that bode well for the upcoming series.
What would it mean to you guys to not have to sort of check his pulse game after game, day after day, and just be able to count on him to be the player he is?
Well, number one, a lot. But more so for him, just to be able to get out there and be comfortable, not have to worry. Am I going to hurt today? Is it going to get worse if I play? Is it going to bother me from doing the things that I normally do at both ends of the court? So I'm hoping more than anything else, just for him, that his feeling is such that he can get out there and play without worry and without concern for his health, and then he'll be fine.
David, could you have imagined that last summer when you were talking to Steve Kerr that you guys would be facing each other now in the finals?
Yeah, that's a great irony and story. The way that I look at it is, especially when I think back to our conversation, is that we both got exactly what we wanted. We wanted to be a part of a successful team that could compete for the championship of the NBA, and it's happened. Only we're on different sides. We're on different sides.
Where did your relationship with him start? How far do you guys go back?
Where did it start? I got to think about that. I'm forgetting just for a moment. But
obviously,
I've known of Steve for many years, and we have a connection, and we share the same agent, who's Mark Bartelstein and Priority Sports, and that's kind of a family organization, so we were partially connected through that. But I knew Steve beforehand. He's done an amazing job this year with his team, and my hat's off to him for the way that he's coached that team and the way he's put that together. If I had the luxury and I had the time, I'd be very happy for him. But unfortunately, I don't.
David, how much of this series is decided on the three-point line, you think, both? I mean, the type of threes you can get and defending them on the other end?
Obviously both teams have made heavy and effective and efficient use of the three-point shot. So that's going to be an element, without question, both in terms of how well you shoot it and how well you defend it. If it comes down to only that, then we're going to be at a disadvantage. So that's not what we're looking for. But certainly that's something that we are very capable of and very efficient with, as are they.
How does Curry affect the way you defend a three, considering how he can take it off the dribble or off the pass?
Well, he really is one of those rare players who can move as well as he does without the ball to create space to shoot, and he doesn't need a lot of space. Same as Clay. At the same time, to be able to create a three-point shot off the dribble and shoot at the percentage that he does, that's rare. He's got a number of ways and a number of angles and certainly seemingly limitless distance to shoot it from. So, that's a pretty tough combination in terms of how you're going to defend it. And I think you got to defend it in different ways, but always ardently, with great attentiveness and focus.
David, in the last two series, it was fairly clear-cut what LeBron would see, Butler or Carroll with some help. What do you think the Warriors will do on him, and does it matter in terms of where you start LeBron on the floor, like in the offensive flow?
I'm sure they'll throw different looks at him. How exactly they're going to guard him. Maybe I'll call my friend Steve Kerr and I'll ask him. see how good friends we really are.
When you made the decision to come here, did you think walking into a head coaching job was realistic, or were you convinced or settled, I guess, on being an assistant first and then working up from there?
Life has taught me never to be convinced of anything until it happens. But when I had the opportunity to interview here, which I was fortunate to have, and that I think I've told you that story, that had Steve not been willing to allow me to interview for the job, I would be in Golden State right now. It was by his good graces and the good graces of the Warriors to allow me to interview for the job. Because basically I had agreed already to go there. But coming in to interview, I was confident that I could at least present a decent picture of myself, and I had what to offer here, if that's what the question is.
I guess it was just when you initially made the decision to leave and come here. Did you have an offer in hand, or did you have a good idea you were going to Golden State, or were you open to the possibility? Did you leave?
No, I was pretty much done there. Yeah. That's why I said, it's really by their good grace that I had the opportunity to interview here. Had they gone about it differently, I would have never interviewed. I asked their permission to come interview.
Well, speaking of the Wayback Machine, have you and Larry Drew had a chance to reflect? Like, you guys met when you were still coaching in Israel. He was a Hawks head coach, and being in this moment now, I'm sure back then you didn't think about that.
That's a good question. We were just laughing about that. It was right after the game, actually, when we were standing before the team got their Eastern Conference champion trophies, and I said, LD, you remember we were sitting out at on the pier in Tel Aviv, having a drink and talking about life. We didn't think this scenario was going to come about now, did we? And here we are.
And how's that been just for you guys? I mean, having a relationship going back and then him having head coaching experience, this whole thing of just you guys working together.
Tobias, one of the best things that has happened to me since I came here was the fact that I inherited some great members on my staff, and then I was part or the initiator of bringing some other great members. You know, if I'm talking about Ty Lue and I'm talking about Larry Drew, both of them I asked our management to hire, and Jimmy Boylan, who was on the staff, who I very much wanted to stay, plus a whole slew of other guys here like James Posey and Vitaly Potapenko and Phil Handy and Brett Brillmeyer. You know, these are guys that were here that I interviewed when I first came, and I was just so happy to have them and so happy that they would stay. And that's really one of the best things that's happened to me in my NBA experience, is these guys that I work with every day.
Hey, what were the changes to Kyrie's training regimen after the trip to Florida?
After what trip to Florida?
Before Game 2.
When he went to Florida.
Oh, I thought you meant if I went on vacation or something. Talk to the staff about it, the training staff about it. I could sit here and try to take you through every step, but they're better equipped to tell you exactly what. In terms of practice, we got him on the floor more with our developmental coach Phil Handy, and got him working day by day more and more game situations to build up strength in the leg and to build up confidence again in making sharp moves and sharp cuts without pain. And gradually increased his cardiovascular work as well. And have done a lot of strengthening of his the muscle group around the knee.
Dave, is there any shot we could see Andy in the finals?
Andy Varejao? That would be lovely. That would be great.
Is it realistic?
I don't know. Stranger things have happened in this world.
Last question. The team has evolved together. So must have the coaching staff. You didn't know any of these guys. Could you maybe take us through a little bit their different roles and how these roles have evolved in the season to making a game plan now?
It's really too long question for this, Chris. I and will tell you that every one of the guys here has been a major contributor to us making the finals. And we're not there without this staff, for sure.